Hi everyone, I'm Sunny from Iran. Today we are going to speak about the introduction in proposal or dissertation. After having decided on a qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods approach, and after conducting a preliminary literature review and deciding a format for a proposal, the next step in the process is to design or plan the study, a process of organizing and writing out ideas begins, starting with designing an introduction to a proposal. This section discusses the composition and writing of a scholarly introduction and examines the differences in writing and introduction for the three different types of designs. The discussion turns to the five components of writing a good introduction, establishing the proposing to the study, and second factor is reviewing the literature about the problem, identifying deficiencies in the literature about the problem, targeting an audience and noting the significance of the problem for this audience, identifying the purpose of the proposed study. These components comprise a social science deficiency model of writing and introduction, because a major component of the introduction is to set forth the deficiencies in past research. The introduction establishes the issue or consolidating to the research by transferring information about the problem, because it is the initial passage in a study or proposal. Special must be given in writing it. The introduction needs to create a reader interest in the topic, establish the problem that leads to the study, place the study within the larger context of the scholarly literature, and reach out to a specific audience. All of this is achieved in a concise section of a few pages because of the messages they must convey and the limited space allowed. Introductions are challenging to write and understand. A research problem is a problem or issue that leads to the need for a study. It can origin from many potential sources. It might spring from an experience researchers have had in their personal lives or workplaces. It may come from an extensive debate that has appeared in the literature. The literature may have a gap that needs to be addressed, alternative views that should be resolved, or a branch that needs to be studied. The purpose of reviewing studies in an introduction is to justify the importance of the study and to create distinctions between past studies and the proposed one. To review the literature related to the research problem for an introduction to a proposal. Consider these research tips. Refer to the literature by summarizing groups of studies, not individual ones. Deficiencies in past literature. After advancing the problem and reviewing the literature about it, the researcher then identifies deficiencies found in this literature. In summary, when identifying deficiencies in the past literature proposal, developers might use the following research tips. That is, cite several deficiencies to make the case even stronger for a study, identify especially the deficiencies of the other studies, that is, methodological flaws, variables overlooked. Write about areas overlooked by past studies, including topics special statistical treatments, significant implications, and etc. Uh, Discuss how a proposed study will remedy these deficiencies and provide a unique contribution to the scholarly literature. In dissertations, writers often include a specific section describing the significance of the study for select audiences in order to convey the importance of the problem for different groups that may profit from reading and using the study by including this section. So writer create a clear rationale for the importance of the study. All right, the purpose statement. The purpose statement, and that is the last section of an introduction, is to present a purpose statement that establishes the intent of the entire research study. It is the most important statement in the entire study, and it needs to be clear, specific, and informative. From it, all other aspects of the research follow, and readers will last unless it is carefully drafted. In journal articles, researchers write the purpose statement into introductions as the final statement. In theses and dissertations, it often stands as a separate section. In writing a qualitative purpose statement, a researcher needs to identify a single central phenomenon and to pose a tentative definition for it. Also, the researcher includes in these statements strong action verbs such as discover, develop, or understand, use non-directional language, and mentions a strategy of inquiry, the participants, and the research site. In a quantitative purpose statement, the researcher states the theory being tested as well as the variables and their description, relationship, or comparison. It is important to position the independent variable first and the dependent variable second. The researcher conveys the strategy of inquiry as well as the participants and the research site for the investigation. In some purpose statements, the researcher also defines the key variables used in the study. In a mixed methods study, a purpose statement includes a statement of intent, the type of mixed methods design, the forms of qualitative and quantitative data collection and analysis, and the reason for collecting both forms of data. Thanks for your listening. If you have any question, please don't hesitate me and step one subscribe our channel for more educational sessions. Thank you again.